Hey you guys, I got some breaking news and we're going to take it over to Rochelle because Rochelle is reporting live on yet another new look pattern drop repeat. So let's go ahead and take it over to her where she is reporting with Eyewitness News. Yes, so Eyewitness News, you guys, these patterns just dropped and they're all repeat. Now, I'm going to be diving into everything that's a repeat for the new look fall drop that just dropped today. Today is August the 13th, which is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. So let's go ahead and get into the breaking news of these new look repeat patterns. Now, one is not nice, but 3 times a charm. So let's go ahead and get into it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it now. Hey everyone, I'm the girl who's back that's gonna give you this entire breakdown of the new look fall 2025 patterns. So without further ado, let's go ahead and keep this video short, sweet, and to the point. And you guys know that I'm going to do what I do best, and that's give you the repeat patterns and what it looks like. Now, this is my opinion. If you don't like, I'm going to tell you, do me a favor and go ahead and click off the video. No shade to you guys, but let's be respectful, number one. And number two, I'm providing those who wants to save their coins patterns that they could use in order to sew the look, basically, for cheap. Because if you guys don't know, number one, Simplicity have posted due to a heavy increase on patterns for their website, shipping is delayed. And now, if you have not been to simplicity.com in a while, I just want to let you guys know, new look patterns are now $6.99. I'm sorry, $5.99, $6, yeah, $5.99. So they're running out with the Vogue patterns, but are they giving Vogue fabulous? Let's dive into it. So without further ado, let me stop chit-chatting and go ahead and get into the first one. So the first pattern is new look 6807. So 6807 is a Mrs. Evening gown. Now, this one is basically, it reminds me of a vintage pattern. This is a special occasion pattern. It's a full length dress pattern that features a line fitted bodice, a back zipper, a lot of, it's a gathered skirt, but have like voluminous gathered skirt with a front inverted pleat. Now this pattern would be perfect for weddings, bridal party dresses, prom, floral event, because it's a special occasion, right? So view A has this timeless square neckline, princess seams, and also has long puff sleeves. And then it also has a decorative flower that goes at the shoulder as well. View B, on the other hand, is a V-neck with front bodice darts, gathered elbow length flared sleeves, and it also have like a contrast skirt as well where you could do it in a different color. Some of the fabric options are, of course, cotton blends, satin, silk, synthetics, just to name a few. If you are doing view B, you can use brocade, velvet, just to name a few there. In terms of the sewing skill level, it's an average to sew. In terms of the sizing for the pattern, it's 1 envelope, which means that this pattern is not size inclusive. And this pattern is 8 to 18 on that pattern envelope. Now, because it's a new look pattern, new look only comes in one format, and that's going to be paper pattern. So I'm going to say wait until the sale, but right now the sale is $5.99. So when new look, if it's ever on sale for hopefully $3.99, we can go back to new look for $3.99 because I think that's like the best price point for new look, being that when we had Joann's, they were all like $3.99 when they're not on sale. And from time to time, you could get it for $1.99. So paying $5.99, that is Vogue prices. I mean, I might have to leave every last one of these new look on the shelf unless we drop the price. I'm hoping someone from simplicity.com runs this, hears me, because $5.99 for a new look when we're used to $2.99, $1.99, $3.99. I mean, it's basically saying like new look is up there with Vogue. Asking for a friend. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next pattern is 6809, but I just want to say 6807. I'm not picking it up at all. But let's move over to 6809. 6809 is a Mrs. Jacket, belt, and dress pattern with petite line. So this one is a classic line jacket pattern. It features princess seams. It has like long sleeve with a slit. It has top stitching details as well. Now, view A, it features a self-tie belt. It also has coordinating top stitches there. And then view B is a dress. So the dress is a line dress that includes princess seams. But it features a back zipper, and then it also has a vent, which is a back slit in the back, which would be perfect for business wear or formal occasion as well. Now, from the photo, view A is the model is wearing a brocade. View B, it is a wool suiting is what the model is wearing in view B. Some of the suggested fabrics for this one are your double knits, your gabardine, your lightweight tweeds, wool crepe, and some lining fabric is what you will need, as well as some interfacing. Now, I want to draw your attention to the back of the envelope. This is an average to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, it's one pattern envelope. Like, I just want to mention that New Look normally has just one pattern envelope. For this one, it's size 18 to 20. Now, in terms of notions for this one, the only thing you're going to need, view A is a no notion pattern. Write that down. It is a no notion pattern for view A. And then view B, the only thing that you're going to need is a hook and eye closure, as well as a 22-inch exposed zipper. Now, I just want to say, you do not have to use an exposed zipper and a hook and eye closure. If you are more comfortable using an invisible zipper and omit the hook and eye closure, by all means, do that. Do what you feel is best for you and the garment that you're sewing. All right. So once again, this pattern is 6809. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is 6810. I just want to mention 6809. I'm not going to be picking up because the dress, which is view B, it reminds me of a dress I have already made, which is McCall 6920. For that pattern, I have made that pattern. It is in a knit. However, this one is not in a knit. You can find other patterns that's in the New Look brand that's very similar to it. Now, what I will do is I will go through kind of like my stash and see what patterns are similar, and I will drop all the comparison patterns in the description box below. So make sure that you open up the description box below so you're able to see that as well. All right, so let's get to 6810. So 6810 is the Mrs. Coat with belt in 2 lengths. This does remind me of a pattern that I have in mind, but this pattern is a oversized line swing coat, basically. So it has an ankle view, which is view A, and then it also has view B, which is more like a knee length, okay? Now, this pattern features a long bat wing sleeve with turn-up cuffs. It has structured shoulder pads, which are optional, features patch pockets that have the flaps on those, and then it also have a notch collar. Now, you can wear it belted, or you can wear it loose without the self-tie belt as well. Now, in the photo, the model is wearing a polyester wool blend coating. That's the cream coat that you see in view A. Now, some of the fabric suggestions for this one is cashmere, coating fabric, tweed, wool, just to name a few there. Couple of things that they mention is there is no allowance made. What that means is they did not account for different fabrics. If you are using like a stripe, a checks or checkered, or any type of plaid. So the fabric amount is not factored into that. So I'm just going to say, make sure that you use more fabric, or purchase more fabric, I should say, if you are doing a plaid, a stripe, or a checker. All right. You're also going to need a lining fabric for this one. In terms of pattern sizing for this one, it's, of course, one pattern envelope, small to extra large. This is an average to sew pattern as well. So let's talk about notions for a minute. So in terms of notions for this pattern, you're going to need what? This is considered a no notion pattern. The only thing you're going to need is shoulder pads. So write it down. 6810, once again, is a no notion pattern. You're welcome. Okay. So if you missed my videos about the no notion patterns, I'm going to put it up here. I literally have 2 videos on no notion pattern. So let me rephrase. I have one video where I talked about 85 new look patterns, all brands. Then I did another video for new look that was a no notion patterns for new look patterns last summer when I did the new look, the hot girl summer for new look patterns, right? Now this pattern, I'm just going to say, build off of that and write down all the no notion patterns. You'll thank me later. All right. You're welcome. Next pattern, 6811. Let's get into it. Oh, let me go back one because 6810, it reminds me of the McCall pattern. Can't remember the number. I think it's 8438, 8439, or 8538, 8539. You guys know it's the lady with the orange jacket on. It reminds me of that pattern, but there's also a new look pattern that came out a while ago, like 2014, that have pretty much the same coat there. All right. But once again, that pattern is 6810. Let's move to this pattern, which is 6811. Let's get into it. So 6811 is another Mrs. Coat pattern and 2 lengths. It also features like it's more so a relaxed fit hooded coat or jacket pattern. Now this one features a long raglan sleeves for comfort and ease. View A has a contrasting lining that folds over a braided trim. And then it also features side seam pockets. View B and View C are made from like a reversible fabric. View B have front patch pockets and View C have that side seam pocket. So it's 2 different views there. Now, what the model is wearing in the photo, right, is a cotton polyester Sherpa fleece. It has a jersey knit backing in that heather gray. All right. Some of the suggested fabrics, if you are doing View A, fleece, Milton, wool type, just to name a few. Some of the contrast you can use is flannel or satin. View B and View C, you will need a double face fleece or a double face Milton, and of course your lining fabric. Now, this pattern is an easy to sew. And this one has no notion. So whenever simplicity.com catch up with shipping, I would advise you to get it because what? It's no notion. Now, I'm not encouraging you to pick up $5.99 patterns. That's up to you. Do what you do. The only person who can control your finances, baby, is you. Okay? So this one is a no notion pattern and easy to sew. Winning. All right? Let's go ahead and get over it. So this one right here, I'm not going to be picking up. I told the fabric in terms of notion, there's no notions here at all. But let's go ahead and get into the next one. Next pattern. Well, before I get into the next one, this pattern reminds me of New Look 6585, I think is the number. It's very similar with that hooded jacket. So I just wanted to highlight that here. But let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next pattern is 6812. So New Look 6812 is a Mrs. Jacket and Vest pattern. So this one is a versatile jacket or vest. It has like it's flexible to your preference, okay? So you have the option of choosing a zipper front or a button closure for either. View A and View B includes on-seam pockets. View C and View D features a patch pocket with a flap, plus the adjustable tabs with buttons or snaps for a utility-inspired style. Now, what the model is wearing in the photo is a pre-quilted woven fabric in blue and a faux leather in black. That's View D as you see on the model. Now, some of the fabric suggestions for this is corduroy, leather-like, micro suede, pinwheel corduroy, ponte, just to name a few there. This is an average to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, it's size 10 to 22 on that pattern envelope. Now, when it comes to notions, of course, for View A and View B, you're going to need a 20-inch separating zipper. If you are doing View B or D, you also going to need 2 package of a 1/2 inch double fold bias tape. And then if you're doing C, you're going to need 3 packs of that 1/2 inch double fold back bias tape, that leather-like trim. And then if you are doing C or D, you're going to need 13 5/8 inch buttons to put on your vest or blazer. Now this one I really like for sure. I think for this one, if the prices drop, I will definitely be interested of picking up. Now this pattern does remind me of a vest that I have in my stash, and I think that's Simplicity 14.99. Now if I'm correct, I will correct it on the screen when I edit this video, but I think it's Simplicity 14.99. I'll put it up on the screen so you're able to see it. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar in my opinion. All right. Once again, that pattern is 6812. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern, 6813. So 6813 is the Mrs. Wrap skirt. This is more so a straight slim fit wrap skirt pattern. It has gentle gathers at the front and the back waist. It also features a side front button closure and side seam pockets. Now it also includes 2 lengths. One length is an ankle length and the other one is a mid calf length. Both of these are finished as a graceful tulip hem and top stitch narrow edges for a polished look. Now what the model is wearing in the photo is a woven metallic, which I think that is gorgeous and amazing. Some of the fabric suggestions are your challis, your chemise, your crepe, your gabardine, your lightweight flannel, just to name a few there. This is marked as an easy to sew pattern. And in terms of sizing, it's one size, small to extra large. All right. Now let's talk notions. This is a surprising portion for me because on the notions it's saying that it is the only notion you're going to need for both use is 1 5/8 inch button as well as a hook and eye closure. Now I know this said that it is a wrap top, so there's no zippers or anything installed. But I do like this pattern, but I think I'm more so on the fence of if this pattern is something that I need in my stash right now. All right, so I think I'm going to pass on this pattern for right now. All right, but let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern, 6814. So 6814 is the Mrs. Knit top, and it also features a woven pull-on pants. All right, so for the knit top and the pants, it's a cozy and casual pattern that includes boxy fitted knit tops with decorative shoulders and long sleeves. Now, this one, when it comes to the pants are pull-on pants that features full-length relaxed fit and a rubbing casing waistband with elastic and fabric tie ends. Now, what the model is wearing in view A is a sweatshirt fleece, and then view B, it's just your normal wear. View C is a sparkle of lightweight denim. Now, some of the fabric suggestions for this one, if you are doing view A or view B, the top, you need to have knit fabrics, okay? On the other hand, if you are doing view C, you need to have on hand some cotton blend, chambray, linen, and linen blends, as well as some rayon and silks, all right? So this pattern, in terms of pattern sizing, it is one size, 8 to 18. This is an easy to sew pattern from simplicity.com. But let's look at the notion. So view A, you're going to need, the notion for view A, you're going to need 1 7-inch exposed zipper for view A. And honestly, if you are not okay with exposed zipper, you can use an invisible zipper. View B is a no notion pattern, and then view C, the pull-on pants, you're going to need some form of elastic. For the elastic, you're also going to need ribbon as well. For the elastic for that, you need a 1/2 inch elastic for that as well. I'm debating on if I'm going to pick this pattern up or not. This pattern is not giving me kind of like a, I need to really pick you up type vibe. It's just in like basic pattern, basically, all right? But once again, that pattern is 6814. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern, 6815. Now, 6815 is a knit top and skirt pattern. Now, this is designed for stretch knit only. It is a beginner-friendly pattern, which is why the sewing rating is easy. Now, this pattern features pull-on skirt as well in 2 lengths with elastic waist. And then you have the knit top with your choice of a straight arm or straight length or a cuff sleeve. All right. Now I did mention some of the fabric suggestions is basically stretch knit, whether that's your jersey, your ITY, your rib knit, your bamboo, just to name a few there. It is easy to sew. I have made this pattern, and yes, I'm saying I have made this pattern because I'm going to share with you guys a pattern that is super simple and similar. Okay. Now, in terms of pattern sizing, it's one size, of course, 10 to 22 on that pattern envelope. This is, once again, an easy to sew pattern. Now, if I had to look at the notions, just to be 100% honest, view A and view B are no notions. All right. View C and view D, you're going to need some elastic. So this pattern classify for A and B as a no notion pattern, but view C and D classify as elastic only. Now I have 3 videos up on the channel regarding elastic only patterns. I'll definitely go ahead and put those in the description box below so you're able to see that as well. All right. So that pattern is 6815. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern, 6816. Now, before I go to 6816, the pattern that 6815 reminds me of is Simplicity 8582. Now, I have done this 8982 3 times on this channel. Now, you guys have not seen it because I made it before I was doing channels, and then I gave 2 outfits away. Okay. So I made 3 2-piece sets, and the only one that I kept is this mustard color yellow that I love. I just wore it last week. So that's what it is. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the next pattern, 6817. So 6817 is a Mrs. Drake front vest, jacket, and pant pattern. This pattern is a loose fitting Drake jacket or vest. It has front opening and back darts. Okay. Now, when you look at the straight leg pants, which is view C, you have a pair of fitted pants that features a fly front closure and side seam pocket. This is perfect if you're layering over something for sure. Now, in the photo, view A, the coral, right? That is done in a faux suede. View B, which is your kind of pants, I guess. No, that's a top as well. Okay, a jacket. That is made in a coated denim in metallic. And then you also have options. If you don't want that, you can do flannel. But then also make sure you know view B, you're going to need some lining fabric. All right. Now, let's talk about view C. So this is also average to sew, just so you know, this is an average to sew pattern. In terms of notions for all of them, view A, you don't need any notions whatsoever. View B is also a no notion pattern. And then you have view C. In my case, it doesn't say on the back of the pattern envelope, but in my case, you're going to need a 7-inch all-purpose or exposed zipper. Okay. That's all you're going to need in order to construct this pattern. Once again, this pattern is 6817. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern, 6818. So for 6818, this is a unisex knit hoodie pattern, hoodie and pant patterns with knit dress. Okay. So this one, in layman terms, you're going to need knit in order to do this pattern. No exceptions. All right. This pattern is also an easy to sew pattern or whatnot. This has 3 different pieces. You have the knit hoodie with the drawstring, kangaroo pockets, and then you have the purchase hem. You also have pull-on pants. The pull-on pants have the elastic waist and drawstring. And then you also have like a hooded knit dress with the short sleeves, kangaroo pockets, and a trim detail as well. Now in the photo, the models are wearing Ponte knit or Ponte de Roma, which is Ponte knit in layman terms. In that photo, both the blue and the green. A couple of suggested fabric for this one would be to use double knit or fleece or even jersey, just to name a few. It is an easy to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, it's all sizes, which means one size fit all. I don't like to say one size fit all, because when they say all sizes, it's basically all the sizes are available. All right. Now let's go ahead and get into the notions for this pattern. So for this pattern, you're going to need some seam binding. You're going to need some fold over braid. You're going to also need some elastic for the waist, for the skirt. You're also going to need some bias twill tape. So there's quite a bit that you're going to need in order to do this pattern. I'm not against it, but it has to make sense in order for me to make it. All right. But once again, that pattern is 6817. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern, 6819. So 6819 is a girls line coat. Now I typically do not share children patterns, accessory, any of that, but I did not make that disclaimer up front. But I'm just going to highlight big picture. So this one is basically a girl's jacket pattern. I'm not picking this pattern up because I don't feel like my daughter's going to ever wear it because of where I live. Now, I'm going to go back and share with you guys which patterns I'm going to pick up after the last pattern, which is the next pattern. Then I'll go through and tell you which ones I'm going to be picking up. All right. Now, this one, once again, is 6819. It's basically a it is basically a tween or teenage pattern. I'm on the fence on this one because I don't think I want to pay $5.99 for a jacket she may only get to wear twice a year. I want to use my money wisely, and it's not on that. All right. Now, this is an average to sew pattern. In terms of sizing for this pattern, it's one pattern envelope 7 to 14. Okay. But once again, this pattern is 6818. Let's move over to the last pattern, 6820. So 6820 is basically family lounge wear or pajamas, okay? So this one comes in 5 different comfortable kids sensual pattern. It has one easy to sew unisex pattern. It features a robe, pants, shorts, and a knit top. Very, very wearable with those pieces for sure. A couple of things I will say about this. View A is made in fleece, which is the robe, or you can make it in a double knit for structure as well. View B and View C are your stretch knits only, such as cotton interlock, jerseys, lightweight double knit, just to name a few. Excuse me. Just to name a few of what you have there. This is an easy to sew pattern. In terms of sizing for this pattern, the pattern is 3 to 8. Now I'm going to leave this on the table simply because my daughter is not a size 8. Okay. She wears girls patterns. Yes. She's super tall. I get it, but I'm pretty sure she could wear the smallest size of a pattern that I have for adult, like a 4 or 6 or something like that. Now, because this one falls out of her range for patterns, I will not be picking this pattern up. However, I do want to mention that this pattern reminds me of a pattern. Yes, it does. And that pattern is Simplicity 1563. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put them up side by side on the screen so you're able to see it, because baby, that pattern 6820 looks exactly to Simplicity 1563. Sorry, not sorry. All right, you guys, those are all 12 patterns that New Look dropped for their fall patterns. Let me know in the comment section below, which ones are you picking up? How do you feel about this collection? And yeah, let's chat. Let's chat it up let's keep this conversation going and chat it up in the comment section below. Open it up, and I have questions there that I'm going to be asking you guys so much. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If this video was educational, inspiring, and fun, give your girls a thumbs up on the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Share this video with a friend who could use this information. And y'all know what I'm going to say. Do what's free, and that's subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming content. Yes. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, I'm just curious to let you guys know, what did you think about these New Look patterns? Which one are you buying? I know I'm just being nosy, but I'm going to call it curious. Okay. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, keep going, keep sewing, and definitely keep growing. Talk to you soon. I want you to be mine all alone.